Welcome. Leo is on mic in this one. Hey, Di. First of all, let me go check to make sure you're unmuted on the thing here.
It was picking up sound down there.
You're still muted. Okay. Okay. Can I be heard? Do I sound faint? I can hear you. So that means you can hear us separately instead of sharing one mic. That's what I like to. That's what I wanted to hear. Is you guys can hear sound coming out of my mic and his mic. Okay, so this one there's gonna be brand new characters in this one. We're not focusing with Derek Stiles and Angie Thompson in this one. The reason why there's two of us on this one is this has two doctors and one surgical assistant. Alright, it has been a long time since we, I'm gonna do normal. It's been a long time since, we'll do a fresh one. We'll do... So these operations are going to seem a little fresh to us. Actually, because of this,
Alaska, the frigid northern extremity of America. Come April, the harsh winter begins to loosen its grip on the land.
Oh, and we don't have to do any voice acting.
The seemingly endless nights grow shorter, day by day, and the frozen wilderness starts to thaw. In the heart of this majestic setting lies a small town not far from Fairbanks, whose weary inhabitants eagerly await the arrival of spring.
This kind of gives it a Resident Evil vibe, kind of.
Montgomery Memorial Hospital watches over the town like an old man. And in this remote hospital toil two doctors who are about to be swallowed
Jaws
by
of
the
Fate. Change that to if that's single. might be able to. Yes. Turn your... There we go. Alright. Let's go through the thing. Sorry about that.
Alaska. The frigid northern come April, the seemingly and the frozen in the heart of the who's weary Montgomery, and in this remote.
So let's do this. Oh, these are just tutorials.
Those are the tutorials.
Do you think we need to do the tutorials?
They probably want to see the tutorial.
The tutorial is only available in single player.
Okay, then don't worry about it.
Okay.
They're here. Hurry, Val! The patient's a 40-year-old male. He has a gash on his chest and he's losing blood fast.
How was he injured?
He ignored the tour guide's warning and picked a fight with a grizzly. His blood pressure's 70, his heart rate's 130, and he's lost consciousness.
The voice acting is actually pretty good in this game.
Got it. Can you hear me? We're going to take you into the hospital. My name is Valerie Blaylock. I'll be treating you. Don't worry. You've been badly injured, but it's not hopeless. In fact, you're quite lucky that there are 2 skilled doctors in a remote place like this.
I've confirmed the patient's blood type and blood count, Dr. Vaughn.
Do we have enough blood on hand? If not, then make arrangements. Have Eric make a quick trip to the blood center. Now what about the x-rays?
It looks like he has 2 broken bones. We'll have to rebuild them. Nurse, have an ample supply of antibiotic gel ready.
It's hard to believe, but situations like this don't seem to faze me anymore. And here I thought I was gonna be able to kick back and enjoy the northern lights every night.
Oh, quit your whining.
Doctor, the patient's vitals are dropping.
All right, let's get down to business. I have dinner reservations.
In Alaska, you got dinner reservations? Why not? Lacerations on the chest require suturing, and bone reconstruction will be necessary for the right forearm.
Let's begin the conference. The patient has suffered a large laceration extending from his right shoulder to his chest. He also has a compound fracture in his right arm. The bone fragments seem to be aggravating the surrounding tissue. There are 2 objectives in this operation. The first is to stop the bleeding and suture the wound. The second is to retrieve the bone fragments, reform them, and set them in place.
The blood won't be arriving for a while.
We don't have time to wait. We have to begin the procedure immediately.
I agree.
Alright.
Time is of the essence. Let's get started.
Okay, let's begin the operation. The patient's vitals are low. Please use the syringe to stabilize them. Please inject more. We need to get his vitals. His vitals have been stabilized. Begin treating the external wound. First, you'll need to sew up the laceration with the sutures. Begin suturing the remaining.
So far, so good.
The suturing is, please treat them with antibiotic gel.
I didn't mean to skip that.
That takes care of the external wounds. Let's move on to treating his arm.
Apply the antibiotic gel to the incision guideline. The area has been disinfected. Now, please trace the incision guideline slowly and carefully.
Valerie, move in.
Trace the incision guideline with the scalpel.
You better start doing vitals.
Begin treating the fracture. First, retrieve all the bone fragments. Use the forceps to remove the fragments that are lodged in the tissue. Pull the fragments out in the same direction they're faced. Place the fragments if the first fragment has been removed. Don't forget to treat the wound. The third fragment has been removed. Please treat there are bone fragments still remaining. Please remove them all.
Looks like this bone is warped.
Let's see if we can reshape it with the forceps.
Now we need to reconnect the bone fragments.
Twist your wrist to maneuver the fragment into the correct position. You've successfully placed the first bone fragment. Please continue.
Yeah, it's just like a jigsaw puzzle.
That's not the correct location.
Is it
Please
not?
look at the shape of the bone fragment more carefully.
This doesn't. You're not twisting it around.
All of the bone fragments have been properly placed. Now, please use
That does it. Let's close them up.
Now suture it in the same manner as the laceration. Okay, we need to bandage the sutured incision. Use the antibiotic gel to stop the bleeding before...
The bleeding stopped. Hand me the
Apply the bandage from one end of the sutured incision. Good work, everyone.
It would have probably been taking us less time, but it'll probably get better. The object of having two people here is one person does one thing, the other person does another thing. And if the vitals go down, one person has to be working on vitals.
Good work, Doctor. I don't know how you can remain so calm during an operation.
Hey,
I'll
we got a
transfer the patient to
subscriber
room
on
3.
YouTube. That's good.
He'll need to remain here for about 5 days. Should I send a bill for a guided tour of Montgomery Memorial to his travel agent?
Good idea, but don't serve him anything fancy. We don't want him getting too comfortable.
I see that the operation went well.
It did. So when are they going to give us the key to the city? We are making Alaska safe for tourists, after all.
I'll take it from here. That is, if you don't mind stepping aside for an old-timer like me.
No, not at all. Just let me know if anything comes up. I'll be at Lucky's, enjoying some grilled salmon.
Well, I don't let my stomach call the shots, so I'd be happy to stay a little longer, sir.
That's quite all right, Dr. Blaylock. There's nothing more we can do for him for the time being.
All right. Well, that turned out well. Moving right on to the next one. I guess we'll do the pointer like off screen or on another.
What nice weather.
Ah, Dr. Blaylock, how are you today?
Good morning, sister. I'm doing well, thank you. Seems like it's finally starting to warm up.
Oh, don't be fooled, dear. The cool temperatures can return quite suddenly, so be sure to carry a sweater with you at all times.
Oh, okay, I will. Looks like you've taught me something new about this town once again, sister.
And be careful not to get caught in any storms. They can be absolutely dreadful. Well, I must be going, but if there's anything new troubling you, please come see me at church.
Oh, thank you. But I've been okay lately. I've been meaning to attend Sunday service, though.
Good. I hope to see you before we move to the new church we're building.
You will, I promise.
Hey, Doc. Am I gonna be okay?
Why wouldn't you be?
Well, if I had the cash, I would have gone to a real hospital. But I don't, so I'm stuck here.
Mr. Carlton, you may not be aware, but this hospital is affiliated with Concordia Medical Institute in Los Angeles. Only the finest and most skilled doctors are sent here.
Oh, really? Because everyone around town says that this is where all the rejects get dumped.
That's ridiculous.
They say that Dr. Montgomery, the guy who built this hospital, was really good. But that was what, 20 years ago? I mean, it doesn't matter now because he's dead.
Well, I'm still alive, so let's just try to get through this together,
All right,
all right?
let's do it.
Now, the bad news is you have a tumor. But the good news is it's benign. So don't worry. I can perform this operation in my sleep. Okay, the nurses will help you get ready, so please return to your room.
All right. But can I call my wife first? I want to talk to her about my will.
He really thinks he's gonna die. Come on, Marcus Vaughn, let's kill a patient.
Why in the world would they want me to come back?
Dr. Vaughn, are you there?
Oh, Dr. Hoover. I have an operation to prepare for, so...
Well, I wanted to speak with you about that matter I mentioned earlier.
Perfect timing. I was just looking over those documents you gave me. I'm sorry, but I can't agree to this.
Oh, and why not?
I couldn't do that to this place. How would you function without us? So even if it's a direct order, I can't comply. You understand, don't you?
Yes, but I believe I neglected to mention that Professor Wilkins contacted me personally. So perhaps you should consult with Valerie before you make up your mind.
Well, I don't know about her, but there's no way I'm going back.
Excuse me, Doctor. Dr. Blaylock is paging you.
Please excuse me, Dr. Hoover. I have an operation to perform.
Multiple stomach tumors detected. Extraction recommended before they become malignant. It's an inches What was it before? Centimeters and kilograms. Well, this is located in the United States, so the other one was located in the United States too. I mean, the translation was...
I'd appreciate it if you could arrive on time, Marcus.
Sorry, I had business.
Sorry, could you review the briefing?
Of course, Dr. Vaughn. The test results show that Mr. Carlton has multiple tumors in his stomach. They're benign, but rather large.
Oh,
So as a precaution, we're going to excise them using the Powell procedure.
The Powell procedure, huh? Well, that may be difficult for a reject doctor like me.
Oh, Dr. Vaughn, you're not letting the patient's rude comment bother you, are you?
I guess we'll just have to show him how talented we really are.
Yeah, you're right, Val. Let's get started.
Okay, let's begin the operation. Disinfect the area with antibiotic gel before you make your incision with the scalpel. Small tumors seem to have formed. Let's burn them before we extract the larger one. Use antibiotic gel to heal any wounds caused by the burning of the small. All the small tumors that can be visually confirmed have been treated. Now let's begin extracting the tumor. Observe the tumor has been located, but the shadow will disappear over time. Excise the center of it and expose the tumor while it's still visible. Follow the Powell. Place the drain. The cytoplasm has been drained. Now excise. Use the forceps to place the excised tumor on the tray. Now we need to treat the excised area. Use the forceps to place the synthetic. Apply antibiotic gel to it. The membrane has been
looks
attached.
a heck of a lot bigger than they used to be. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find them. You cut them. And I will immediately pull out the drain and then you cut it out.
According to the test results, there should be more tumors.
The affected area is around here.
All right, let's continue with the...
The tumor has been located. Please okay. Now drain this, excise it with a scalpel before the cytoplasm. Please remove the excised tumor. Small tumors have formed. It must be due to the main tumor. Apply antibiotic gel on the synthetic membrane to fix it. That seems to be all the large tumors. Please treat the exiles. The procedure is complete. Let's close him up.
That took a little time.
All right, close him up. Treat the bleeding before you bandage the sutured incision. That completes the operation. Good work, everyone.
Carry water, everyone. Really, we worked together on that one.
Man. Feels so much better. My stomach doesn't hurt for a change. I'm glad I decided to go through it after all.
If anyone else had performed the operation, I doubt it would have gone so well.
Yeah, you guys were amazing. I'll be sure to ask for you two next time I need to have an operation done.
Do you think there will be a next time here at Montgomery
Maybe
Memorial?
he could do a gallbladder removal.
For me, there will.
I thought you'd say that.
Snowstorm. I think this one was a car accident. Sorry if I'm spoiling it.
What a storm. We'll have to close early.
Too bad we can't leave, though. We finally managed to dodge the late shift, and we're stuck here anyway. Well, this bed has my name on it, so I'm gonna get some much-needed sleep.
Hey, isn't that investigator from Concordia supposed to stop by sometime today? I'm sure you'll be the first they'll want questioned.
Oh, don't worry, they won't be sending anyone out here
You
in
want
this
to
weather.
bet?
I guess since no one else is around, all calls are being transferred to us. Dr. Blaylock speaking.
Is this the hospital? I need help. Someone's been badly injured.
Marcus, we have an emergency. Yes, this is Montgomery Memorial. Please remain calm. Now, can you tell me what happened?
A man was accidentally shot in the chest with a rifle. He's bleeding profusely. I estimate that he's already lost about 500 milliliters. His CS is 233.
All right, we'll prepare for your arrival. How long before you can get here?
Mister, how long will
Sounds
it
like
take us to
Elena
get there?
Salazar.
10 minutes. Can you get us there in 5? We'll be there in 5 to 10 minutes.
Got it. We'll be ready. All the nurses have gone home. We'll have to do this on our own. Can you prep the OR?
The IV, BGA, and CT are all ready to go. So is the blood count and cross-matching test. Looks like the storm's headed our way.
Very cookie for everyone.
I'm so glad you're still open. Here's the patient.
We're ready for him.
I've managed to temporarily stop the bleeding, but his vitals have dropped significantly. He's been shot in the chest. It looks like the bullet's still lodged inside him. His condition is critical. There isn't a moment to lose.
Everyone's already gone home, so you'll have to help me get him on the stretcher.
No problem. I'm actually a nurse. So if you're short-handed, I can help you with a procedure.
Now it all makes sense. I was wondering how you knew to report all that information. We can definitely use your help. Come on, let's go. Marcus, the patient's here. And this girl is a nurse. She's going to help us.
Finally, some good news. So does she have a name?
Oh, sorry, I didn't think to ask you.
I'm Elena Salazar, from the Concordia Medical Institute in Los Angeles.
I'm surprised Concordia sent someone as young as you.
It's nice to see you again, Dr. Vaughn.
Have we met before?
Let's save the introductions for later. We've got an operation to perform.
Bullet lodged in the heart and gunshot wounds to the chest. Immediate extraction and hemostasis treatment are necessary. Yeah.
I know this is an emergency,
25.
but please allow me to advise you on the situation.
Go into cardiac arrest.
The patient is a Caucasian male in his 50s. He's suffering from a gunshot wound from a rifle. The bullet didn't exit his body. It's still inside him. Due to the excessive amount of bleeding, there's a possibility the bullet nicked his heart.
Definitely. So his vitals are 25.
There's no time to waste.
He's lucky you got him here so quickly.
The objectives in this operation are to extract the bullet and treat the hemorrhaging areas. Okay, let's give it our all.
All right, let's begin.
Okay.
Okay, let's give it our all. We need to treat the external wounds first. The round seems to have entered the body here. Let's treat the gunshot wound before we open him up. I'll prepare the synthetic membrane. Please affix it to the wound.
Drain it.
Now affix it with The gunshot wound has been successfully treated. Now let's open him up. He's in bad shape. Please keep an eye on his vitals while you treat his wounds. Doctor, you located the gunshot wound.
Well, we gotta deal with the rest
We're
of the
dealing
blood.
with his heart, so please be extremely careful when you extract the round. Let's drain the blood and determine that a mistake could be fatal. Please extract the round carefully. Doctor, please be more careful. What? The other half must still be lodged inside. We have no choice. We have to open the gunshot wound wider with a scalpel.
We knew this was coming.
We can't get a pulse with the round still lodged inside him. Please extract it quickly. Open up the gunshot wound with the scalpel and keep an eye on his vitals.
Uh-oh.
A blood
Vitals.
vessel has formed. Please drain
Take
it quickly.
care of it. I got it.
You've located the remaining piece. Please extract it with care. The round has been extracted. Please treat the remaining wounds. That completes the treatment of the wounds. Now please resuscitate the patient using the defibrillator. Now move the Wii remote forward. You have to press the paddles against his body. This gauge displays the amount of power being charged. Press the Z and B buttons together when you're not getting a pulse. Your timing needs to be better.
Do it!
We have a pulse. What a relief. Okay, let's close him up.
Alright, well that one was,
Doctor, please
that
close
one
him
was
up.
pretty bad.
Okay, let's finish by bandaging the sutured incision. That completes the operation. I was worried during that one part of the operation, but we made it. Great work,
Great
Doctor.
work, Doctor. Part where he went to 0 and we could have lost that for later. We're crabby doctors. Wow, this is unreal.
That was a difficult operation, but it went well with your help. You're a very skilled nurse.
Really?
Yes, really. I'd love for you to assist us again sometime, if possible.
But first, we should clarify some things. What instructions did Professor Wilkins give you prior to coming here, Elena?
You're right. I shouldn't hide my true intentions. But I didn't come here to spy on you. And I didn't come here to help you. I came here to ask you to operate on me, Dr. Vaughn.
What?
It's the pump unit you implanted in my pancreas 7 years ago. It isn't going to last much longer. Please, Dr. Vaughn. You have to help me.
Now I remember. So you're that little girl.
Okay. I guess we're doing things. So she has a pump in her pancreas, so she's diabetic.
Elena has intractable pancreatic necrosis, an extremely rare genetic immune system disorder. The disease surfaces due to stress caused by aging, viruses, or chemical substances. If left untreated, it could cause septicemia, cellular necrosis, and a severe case of pancreatitis. Thankfully, an effective immune suppressant was developed in 2015. So now the disorder can be treated by implanting a high-efficiency
This
pump
game
system in
came
the
out
patient.
before 2015.
But why do you need another operation? Is the system malfunctioning?
Yeah, it's designed to last for 20 years.
The antibody has denatured. The medication isn't working. To compensate, the pump's immunity suppressant control chips need to be replaced.
And you expected that someone at a remote hospital like this could do it?
I wanted to ask Dr. Vaughn to perform the operation, since he already saved me once before. I'm sorry I didn't contact you beforehand.
Oh, no need to apologize. You're quite welcome here.
Placing the pump unit is no easy task, and tampering with the implanted unit might cause stress and trigger an acute reaction. An inexperienced doctor wouldn't even attempt such an operation.
Doctor, we've received a shipment from Concordia. According to the label, it requires refrigeration.
I had them send all the materials necessary to perform the operation.
Marcy, please refrigerate them at once. The patient appears to be in good condition, but that doesn't mean we have time to spare. Once the preliminary test results are in, we'll need to operate immediately.
So it's a difficult operation, huh?
Yeah, it'll require some preparation.
Oh, are you heading back home, Dr. Blaylock?
Oh, hi, Elena. Yes, I am. You're staying here tonight, I assume.
Yes. I was hoping to catch a glimpse of the northern lights.
I see. Well, try to stay warm. By the way, I wanted to ask you about how you became a nurse. It must have been tough. Not only were you young, but you also had your illness to contend with.
Well, I was working towards something I really wanted, so I was able to overcome those obstacles. And in the process, I was able to learn more about my condition.
But you even received your international nursing license, right? That's amazing.
I was grateful to be alive. People are capable of so much when they don't take life for granted.
You're really mature for your age. I think you have a great career ahead of you.
Thanks. I can't wait to get back to treating patients, as opposed to being one. Look! The northern lights! It's so beautiful.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Elena, let's both do our best during tomorrow's operation.
Remain centered. Breathe. Focus. As the stars have taught me, I am one with life. I am one with now. Remain centered. Breathe. Focus.
You guys will find out what he's trying to do.
Should have unplugged the phone.
I should have unplugged the phone.
Yeah, who is it?
Greetings. I'm sorry to disturb you so
Wilkinson.
late, Marcus.
Professor Wilkins.
I suspected this would be a good time to reach you.
It would have been nice if I could have finished meditating.
I see you're still dabbling in witchcraft. Well, that's good, because it is precisely that sorcery of yours we must rely on now.
Look, I'll perform the surgery on Elena. Just don't expect me to return to Concordia.
It seems there's been a misunderstanding. She's not the reason I contacted you, Marcus. There's another patient I'm concerned about.
What are you trying to say?
Stigma has awakened, and I require your assistance.
What? Didn't I tell you that it was too dangerous to tamper with?
So you don't think you share in any of the responsibility, Well, don't be ridiculous. It's too late to wash your hands of this. However, there's no reason to let your feelings of guilt torment you. In fact, I have some good news for you. The patient I'm referring to is me. Well then, we shall continue this conversation another time.
Professor Wilkins has stigma. I can't believe it.
You look distracted today. Are you
Do
alright?
we remember this music?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
If you say so. Just as long as you'll be able to use your healing touch.
Well, if all goes as planned, I won't need to. Don't worry, Elena. Everything will be fine.
Oh, I'm not worried.
Now, about these microchips we're replacing.
Well, they went to the trouble of including instructions from the designer himself, so I'll indicate when you should bring them out. Fortunately, his directions are perfectly clear. I'll have to thank Professor Kerensky.
The operation is sure to be a success with such a well-prepared team. All right, Elena? I'm gonna begin administering the anesthesia.
Okay. I'll try to get some sleep.
4 pump unit chips need to be exchanged in the pancreas. Proceed with caution as heavy hemorrhaging is expected. If I remember correctly, we have to burn these with a laser, and we've got to place the chips on with a forceps. Normally, they would have to be soldered in place, but we don't have the tools for that, so I'm kind of curious at how these chips are going to stay in.
All right, let's go over this one more time. The objective of this operation is to readjust the pump unit installed in the pancreas. Depending on the condition of the pump, we'll most likely have to change the control chips. There's a high risk that there may be hemorrhaging as a result of the chip exchange. Follow my lead and keep in mind that we may need to make some changes along the way.
All right? Let's make this an operation to remember.
Do we really want to remember this?
The control chips are ready, Doctor.
Okay, keep them on hand so they'll be ready when I call for them. Okay, let's begin.
Tell us to remember the surgery, but I don't remember all of the surgeries from this game. I just know what this game is about.
We will now begin Miss Salazar's operation. The implant is in the pancreas. Please perform a laparotomy. This must be the implant. Let's use antibiotic gel to stop the hemorrhaging.
The wounds have been treated, but it's only a matter of time before it ruptures again. We're going to have to replace the implant's control chips. First, we'll have to disable the current chips, then we can exchange them with the new ones.
Use the laser to disable the chips. The control chip has been disabled. Use a scalpel to cut it out. Be careful of any hemorrhaging may
Watch
occur.
out for the hemorrhaging.
The control chip has been disconnected. Please remove it with the forceps. Now insert the new control chip into where the old one used to be.
Got it.
The exchange is complete. We'll repeat this procedure with the rest of the control chips. Huh? There's massive hemorrhaging. Use the drain to clear away the blood before continuing with the chip exchange. Unbelievable. Something's not right. Why won't the hemorrhage?
I had a bad feeling something would go wrong. I guess I have no choice. Remain centered. Breathe. Focus. As the stars have taught me. Now. Okay. I've got some vitals till it hemorrhages again. I need to continue the operation while I can. The implant's adjustments are complete. Let's treat the remaining wounds here.
The healing touch. Amazing.
Sorry, but I'll have to leave the rest to you. I think I overdid it.
He fell over.
Marcus?
You heard him
Hey.
fall over. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Phoenix.
Nurse Bloom, get Marcus out of here. I'll handle the rest of the operation.
All she needed to do was stitch her glove. We got an A rank out of that one.
Ah, you're awake.
We could have done that without the healing touch. Jesus.
You seem completely drained, Marcus. Is it because you haven't used your gift recently?
Yeah, I'm exhausted. How's our patient?
I completed the rest of the operation. Her condition's stable now. I'll keep an eye on her, so feel free to get some rest.
That sounds good. I'll probably end up freezing to death.
I don't understand it. Why would they send someone with your ability to a place like this?
All right, enough with the sarcasm.
No, I'm serious. In fact, I'm a bit envious. Personality aside, I'd love to be you, Marcus. And to have your ability?
Don't sell yourself short, Val.
What do you mean?
You didn't come here for the tropical weather. You came to refine your techniques, to learn the healing touch. But if you've already given up on that, then there's no reason to stay here.
Who are you to be judging me? You sulk around here all day like a mistreated dog licking your wounds.
Sorry, Val, that didn't come out right. I'm not very good at giving pep talks. All I can think to say is, try harder. Which isn't very helpful, huh?
I'm sorry, too. I shouldn't have snapped at you like that.
I guess when it comes to interpersonal communication, I'm no Dr. Montgomery, huh? Well, maybe if you pray hard enough, he'll visit you in your dreams and teach you the right way.
Didn't like that either. Operation Pointer. I guess we're skipping that one. Yeah, you'll probably have to do that. I'm already on Twitch. No, I'm not going to worry about
I have
that.
been educated in the school of modern medicine, the epitome of scientific knowledge, I cannot deny the energy I feel emanating from the spirits of those who are ill, and from that which dwells deep within me. I soften my eyes, I relax my ears, I quiet my mind and allow the energy to permeate my very being. The spirits raise my skills to a higher plane.
And I awaken to my true self. Oh. It's no use. I can't understand any of this. It says the 5-pointed star is a symbol of life. But when I look at it, it simply reminds me of a piece of okra in a bowl of gumbo. I guess the healing touch just isn't for an ordinary person like me.
An aging hospital.
This door's no good. It's been totally warped by the snow. I guess it can't be helped. This hospital isn't exactly new.
Well, this door isn't used very often, so it shouldn't be a problem.
I suppose we should still call and have it repaired. Is something wrong?
My stomach.
Director?
Good thing you're at
Director!
the hospital already. Yeah, really?
Let's see. Your amylase count is good, your pancreas is functioning normally, your white blood cell count is fine, and I don't see any problems with your immune system.
Well, that's good to hear.
Just let me know if you think you're recovering too quickly. I can change some of these numbers and extend your vacation.
Jesus Christ! She wants to stay and be a working nurse.
No, that's okay, Doctor. I'd like to return to work as soon as possible. Although, once I've fully recovered, I do have another favor to ask.
Marcus! Director Hoover just collapsed!
What?
He has multiple tumors in his small intestine, and they've already reached a fairly advanced stage. I've stabilized him with an IV and a blood transfusion, but he needs to be operated on right away.
Why did he let his condition get so bad?
If only he had taken better care of himself. He kept all his troubles and worries bottled up inside, not wanting to burden anyone with his problems.
Standing around wondering why won't do him any good. We need to focus on the procedure.
Multiple tumors detected in various sections of the small intestine. These tumors have caused inflammation to appear.
The CAT scan we took earlier has confirmed the presence of multiple tumors. The objective of this operation is to extract these tumors.
It's progressed this far. I'm worried that there may be further complications.
I'm concerned about his physical condition. He's not young, and this operation will be stressful.
You're the only ones who can help him.
Don't worry. You can count on us.
That's right. He's in good hands. I won't let him die. Let's begin.
Let's begin the operation. The tumors are located in the small intestine. Good luck. The area is a little inflamed. I'll get the anti-inflammatory. Use the syringe to inject the anti-inflammatory directly into the inflamed area.
Inflammation treatment complete. Let's continue with the remainder.
We found the tumor.
The tumor has been removed. Please treat the area where you made the excision.
I wonder if the preliminary scan missed anything.
It usually always does.
I'm preparing the magnification tool. Use it to search the area thoroughly.
The ultrasound selected whole beads removed. Okay.
There's one over here? It's progressed much further than we expected. We need to extract them all.
The vitals!
Got him! Okay. Well, I gotta move. Just inject that.
The tumor's been extracted. Now to treat the area around the excision. When we're done here, we should check out some other areas.
Signs of tumors are decreasing. It spread much more than we anticipated. There are no further... I was pretty worried at one point, though. Please close him up. The operation is complete.
Yeah, we've been waiting a little longer than what we should have.
I'm sure the director will recover quickly.
Well, there was 4
Great
quadrants
work,
we
everyone.
had to look at on his intestines. I have a feeling this is going to be oh wow. We had no multiplier. Okay. Oh well. We made too many mistakes.
Well, we were able to remove all the tumors from your small intestine, sir. You should be up and around in about a week or so, but
but it is unclear whether or not the procedure was successful, yes? My mother also suffered from tumors. It appears the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Sir, I strongly recommend that you take some time off to recuperate. Perhaps you could undergo treatment somewhere in a warmer climate.
I appreciate your concern, Dr. Blaylock, but I've already made up my mind. As you know, I have been planning to close this hospital for some time now. Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock, you two should return to Concordia. Say, have you heard? They're building a new university hospital in Fairbanks. Knowing that a top-rate facility will be located nearby makes my decision much easier to live with. This hospital and I have grown old together. I believe it's time for both of us to retire.
Congratulations, you're recovering extremely well. I don't see any problems with your pancreas. You're free to return to LA whenever you're ready.
Have you thought any more about the favor I asked? I'd really like to go with you and assist you in the OR.
You don't give up easily, do you? Sorry, but the answer's still no. Trust me, I have my reasons. You don't owe me anything. You need to think about your future.
That's why I'm asking. I want to train alongside the world's best surgeon.
I don't think you want to put your fate in the hands of a doctor who's about to lose his job. Go back to Concordia. You owe them an explanation.
This may be the last time I walk these streets. I can't believe the hospital is actually closing. It's all so sudden. Well, I may not have made any major medical breakthroughs, but coming here wasn't a total waste. I suppose I'd better start thinking about what hospital I'd like to work at next. Oh, I almost forgot. I was gonna go get some coffee at Jake's. It's the hospital. Hello?
Dr. Blaylock, are you nearby?
Yes, why?
There's been an accident at the construction site. We need your help.
I'm on my way.
He said hi to me, but he didn't say hi to you.
Val!
Yeah,
Over
Leo's
here!
Leo's not the only one here in Phoenix. This is why I put it in the description.
Where's the injured party?
She's in no condition to be moved. We'll have to treat her at the scene. She's lodged beneath the frame of the church. Our equipment's already been loaded onto the helicopter.
Elena.
Dr. Vaughn, please let me come. I know I can help. You won't regret it.
I can't let you do that. You're still...
I'm fine. You've seen to that, Doctor.
We can't waste any more time. We're taking off.
Come on, Elena. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Suit yourself, but it's your life that's on the line.
I'll take my chances.
Sister Catherine!
Oh, Dr. Blaylock. My chest. I can't.
Don't worry, sister. We'll get you out of there.
It's no use. The frame's too heavy. We won't be able to move it.
Oh, the pain is unbearable. Oh, Lord. Please. Help me.
Don't give up, Sister Catherine. That's what you told me when I was down, so please, hang in there.
It's risky, but we'll have to leave her where she is for now. Elena, get the instruments and anesthesia ready.
Okay.
She's suffering from a chest contusion and cyanosis. We need to open her up immediately.
All right, Valerie, you take the lead.
Severe hemorrhaging in the pericardium. Since the operation will be performed outdoors, extreme caution is necessary. They would not do that in real
Her
life.
chest must have been compressed when she was caught in the collapse. Her heartbeat sounds distant. She may be suffering from cardiac tamponade.
If that's the case, then blood will collect in her pericardium and cause diastolic heart failure.
We don't have time to transport her back to the hospital. If Valerie's diagnosis is correct, we need to drain the blood.
I have to save her, no matter what.
All right, Val, you lead, and I'll assist.
I won't let you die, Sister Catherine. Okay, let's begin the operation.
Quick. So, it looks like... That means I'm controlling Valerie in this one.
I can't believe we have to perform a thoracic surgery in a place like this. Let's hurry and operate so we can get her out of here. Please treat the external injuries before we move to her interior. All external injuries have been treated. Quickly, open her up. It's like we thought. Doctor, I suspect there's hemorrhaging within the pericardium. Use the ultrasound to locate pockets of blood while treating the other wounds. There's hemorrhaging inside the pericardium. Make an now drain the blood from the pericardium. Please suture if there are multiple hemorrhages. Start treating the one with more blood. Please drain it once more.
I got the vitals.
Doctor, the pericardium. Drain the blood and suture the tear quickly.
Got it.
Within the pericardium is complete. But her vitals aren't stabilizing. There must be another hemorrhage somewhere. Doctor, keep using the ultrasound to look for pockets of hemorrhaging. If we let it go on for too long, immediately make an incision with the scalpel when you find out where a hemorrhage is.
Okay, got vitals.
Pericardium has been sutured. Please make sure that there aren't any more hemorrhages.
You're right. Considering her condition, it may be best to transport her now.
This isn't good. Was there another collapse?
No! Sister! If I can't save her life, I have no business calling myself a doctor. Spirit of life, guide my hands.
There's no vitals to restore.
She'll be okay now.
Don't tell me.
That was the healing
Was that-
gun Marcus on.
Please close her up, Doctor. We can transport her to the hospital for the time being.
So far
We can
haven't
perform
failed
any
to
remaining
injure.
treatments there. Well done, Doctor.
Trudy has redeemed packaging berry cookies for everyone on Twitch.
We were finally able to free Sister Catherine, so I'm going to transport her to the hospital now.
All right, let's head back then. She's made it through the worst of it, but we still need to watch for signs of crush syndrome.
I'll monitor her condition.
You did it, Valerie. I knew you had it in you, but I never imagined your gift would awaken so suddenly.
I'm actually surprised myself. It wasn't the technique that was important for the healing touch. It was the opening of my heart. I finally understand what Dr. Montgomery was trying to say in his book.
Are you serious, Valerie? The irony that you're working on the heart that you had to open up your heart?
It was a difficult operation, but I feel like I can make my decision now. I want to continue working as a doctor.
Yeah. I guess I've got some thinking to do myself.
One week later.
Have you finished packing?
Yes, just now.
I apologize for being so selfish.
No worries. This is the hand fate's dealt us. As long as I remember that Concordia is just a stepping stone, it won't be that bad.
But what about all the staff members here? What are they going to do?
Oh, don't worry about us. We were able to negotiate a deal with Fairbanks Hospital. Everything is going to be transferred there. All of our patients, staff, and equipment. However, we may have a shortage of world-class doctors.
My daughter and family have offered to look after me, so I'll be going to Seattle. The warmer climate should aid me in my recovery.
If you happen to relapse, please contact me immediately. I'll drop whatever I'm doing and come operate on you.
Thank you, Dr. Vaughn. But I'll do my best to make sure you won't have to.
I gave Concordia a number of conditions under which Valerie and I would return, Elena. The most important being that you would be our assistant in the operating room.
Dr. Vaughn!
We expect nothing less than your very best. When I first arrived here at Montgomery Memorial, I absolutely hated it. But it's true. The greater the challenge, the more you appreciate the experience. Dr. Hoover was a strict but amazing teacher.
Val,
Yes?
the operation that the professor is asking us to perform will be extremely difficult. If we're going to be successful, we'll have to work together.
What are you saying, Marcus? Of course we will. We're a team.
Except you don't know what the operation is about.
A team that has endured the harshest of winters.
Oh, we gotta do a challenge. Alright. We're gonna do a challenge before we do... Yeah. This is everything that we've done up to this point. So it's not going to be introducing us to anything new. Alright, I got the picture. I don't know what happened there. I probably wasn't. got that? This is tumors. Well, why are they not doing this in quad? Let's do the. Well, I'll do that then. You cut. And I'll make I'll do vitals. The blue ones we have to burn. Got vitals. Both do vitals. Vitals. Ah, I did it again. You gotta pay attention where that light is pointing. We got 1 minute left, I got vitals. B button. Was it only just 3 patients? Restart from the beginning of the current operation? No, because that was just a challenge.
How embarrassing. I can't believe I forgot it on my first day back. Oh, good morning, Marcus.
Morning. What are you doing out here?
They're in Los Angeles and they're dressed up for the winter still.
I got stopped because I forgot my ID. I told them to call Billy at the reception desk, but he doesn't work
Phoenix,
here anymore.
You live in California. Is this unusual for them to wear a jacket like this in Los Angeles? Well,
it's been 3 years, so I can't say I'm surprised.
Degrees, and they will wear a jacket in 40-degree weather.
All right, I'll go straighten things out.
Thanks.
I mean, you don't see snow on the ground.
My, you're here early, Dr. Vaughn.
Hey, Dr. Russo. It's been a long time.
Hello, Dr. Blaylock. How was Montgomery Memorial?
Well, it was certainly challenging.
I have to admit, I was quite envious when I heard that you were going.
Wesker.
I mean, who wouldn't want a chance to get in touch with
Wait
nature?
until you see Dr. Wilkins.
I heard that you became chief surgeon. Congratulations.
Ah, thank you. Of course, that was 6 months ago.
Sorry, I've been a little out of the loop.
Think nothing of it. I understand completely. After all, you were quite far from civilization. Oh, by the way, Professor Wilkins is expecting you to. He's waiting in his office on the 5th floor.
All right, we'll go see him.
I wonder why they asked you to return, seeing as how you've made little progress on your research.
Shut down.
This hospital must be busier than I thought. I hope you two live up to your reputations. Well then, if you'll excuse me.
I see he's still as charming as ever.
At least you know what to expect from him.
Red Dahlia looks like Wesker.
Dr. Wilkins?
Ah, welcome back. I've been waiting for you for quite some time.
Yeah, it took me a while to decide. Have you been bedridden?
This disease can be debilitating, but the symptoms haven't progressed that far just yet. I'm in better spirits than I look. In fact, I even make the rounds occasionally. Of course, that's only for the time being.
What's this disease you're referring to?
Relax, my dear. The symptoms have temporarily subsided. Once I've made the necessary arrangements, I'll explain my situation in greater detail. After all, this is a confidential matter, even within these walls.
It's a secret?
Yes. You could say that I am both a patient as well as a research subject. For now, I'd like you to resume your normal duties. I'm sure Rousseau will find something for you to do.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Well, we'll get to work then. Call if you need anything.
Marcus, you went against my orders and ran off to Alaska. But in the end, you were forced to return here. I won't reproach you, as long as you accept your fate.
Is that what you want me to do?
Indeed.
Hi, Dr. Blaylock.
Oh, hello, Elena. Are you starting today?
Yes, I am. I actually just returned from a brief vacation.
I need to hurry up and get back into the swing of things here. And it's hard because there are so many new faces.
Valerie, are you in? We've got an operation to perform.
Are you serious?
Russo took the liberty of volunteering
Great.
us. Nice guy, huh? I have a feeling this is just a taste of what's to come.
Senior surgeon.
All right,
destroying
I'll go
all
prep.
His surgeries on the underdogs.
Elena, can you assist?
Definitely. I'll start setting up immediately.
Tumors have formed inside the left lung. The pus must be drained and the tumors extracted. This is a very nasty surgery.
Allow me to begin the briefing for today's operation. Well,
Oh, am I making you nervous?
Yeah, I'll do the
Just
training.
pretend I'm not
You'll
here.
work on the tumor. No, I'm okay with draining.
Please continue, Elena.
the patient is suffering from a putrefactive lung abscess due to Staphylococcus aureus. Both the x-rays as well as the CAT scan support this diagnosis. You have two objectives for this operation. Look for a shadow using the ultrasound, make an incision, and drain the pus. And of course, excise the tumor that's causing the problem.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Dr. Russo?
Oh, no. I'll merely be observing.
We'll try not to disappoint you. Ready to begin.
Let's begin the operation. We'll show Dr. Rousseau why we're here.
It's
That's what it
frustrating.
looks like.
We need to drain the pus.
Otherwise, it could lead to inflammation.
It looks like there's a tumor. I recommend the Powell procedure.
Gotta drain.
It may begin to fester once the tumor... We need to drain the pus before treating. Doctor, it's becoming inflamed. I think you should inject some anti-inflammatory.
This is a dizzy operation.
But according to the diagnostics, the affected area may be larger than it appears. We need to use the magnification tool to take a closer look.
Looks like the diagnostics were correct. We've got more work to do.
The vitals!
Grab the vitals.
Well done, Doctor.
Cause a problem to the vitals anyway.
Don't forget to treat the affected area. That seems to be the last one. Now let's close him up.
Bad form when you're in an operation and your cell phone goes off.
Looks like the procedure was a success. Good work, Doctor.
We used up a lot of clock on that one. Wow, that was an eventful operation.
Well, Dr. Vaughn, I see that you haven't allowed yourself to get rusty.
Surprised?
Well, you could have suffered from frostbite. Ah, yes. I must explain our new post-op procedures. Things have changed since you left. The chart needs to be submitted to the clerks on the second floor. And surgeons are required to attend a case review session every Tuesday morning. However, we won't be needing you there just yet. I'll call for you when it's deemed necessary. Well then, excuse me.
Thank you.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun operation. We dealt with pacemakers in the last game.
We'll be implanting a pacemaker?
Yes. You'll be performing an exchange operation to upgrade the one currently inside the patient. You'll also be performing the pre-op examination on her.
Why us and not a cardiologist?
Because I believe you two are better suited to perform the procedure. A team of specialists will be available to assist you, but I doubt that will be necessary.
It seems they're expecting a lot from us, but you wouldn't know it by the way the staff's treated us.
This can be considered as a preparation phase for the actual operation. An appropriate pacemaker has already been selected. You'll be implanting the same type I'm currently using.
The same pacemaker you're using?
That tells us everything.
Are you sure it's not gonna hurt?
You'll be fast asleep the entire time. It'll be over before you know it.
But what if I wake up? Will it hurt?
I promise that won't happen. The medicine will keep you asleep, no matter what.
If it's gonna keep me asleep, then how will I wake up? Will I sleep
This is
forever?
something doctors deal with on a daily basis.
Well, you'll wake up because you'll get hungry.
Usually there's a medication you inject to help the patient wake up. Nope, with me, the medication had to wear off on me before I woke up. In certain cases, but when I had to go in for my colonoscopy, they used the medication to wake me up.
Chloe, you heard that your heart isn't doing well, right? Right now you're okay because doctors put a machine in you that helps your heart. But we found out that machine isn't working like it should. So if we don't put in a new machine, your chest is going to hurt. You don't want your chest to hurt, do you?
No.
All right then, the operation is going to be tomorrow. Let's both do our best.
Come on, Chloe. Let's go back to your room. Don't worry. There's nothing to be scared about. You'll be all better real soon.
Didn't she become a VTuber? Chloe? Yeah. I don't think that Chloe became a VTuber.
Opening up a child's chest for the second time. As a doctor, I know I shouldn't be fazed by it, but it's still heartbreaking.
Doctors are human. And no matter how they try, they're still going to be heartbroken or emotionally set back from it. It's inevitable.
This operation has nothing to do with the professor's orders. Let's just concentrate on doing our best for that kid, okay?
I'm not lying. It really hurts. Come on, there must be something you can do.
I'm sorry, but we didn't find anything wrong when we examined you.
That medication I used before seemed to help. How about some more of that?
As I said before, I can't write you a prescription. Dr. Vaughn, can you please help me explain to this patient?
Me, Dr. Chen?
He won't listen to reason. And I refuse to write him a prescription. He's just pretending to be in pain because he's addicted to painkillers.
What? Are you calling me a liar? Forget it. I'm out of here.
What does he think this is? A street corner? He was wandering around, so I offered to help him. The first thing he said was, I need drugs.
How did he get in?
I don't know, but I should report him to security. By the way, Dr. Vaughn, I heard that you're conducting a pacemaker procedure today.
That's right. Since I'm the new guy, I have no choice but to follow orders.
I suppose that's true. Well, good luck. If all goes well, I'd like to ask you to be my assistant.
I'll do my best to live up to those expectations.
Give him a prescription of placebos. They didn't even do that no more. Pacemaker exchange operation. Since the patient is a child, that drawing does not look like a child. A quick procedure is necessary to minimize the trauma.
Let's begin the conference for little Chloe.
Please do.
Your objective for this operation is to replace the patient's pacemaker. First, you'll have to stop the old pacemaker. Then, remove it and insert the new one.
Cut the wires.
This operation will require great precision and will put a lot of strain on the patient's body. Please proceed with the utmost care.
Of course. This is a very serious operation.
She's only a child, so even a small mistake could be fatal.
It's true.
Scalpel?
Well, good luck, you two.
I made a mistake. Oh, wait, I killed the patient.
Let's get started.
Today, we'll be replacing the patient's pacemaker.
If I remember correctly, it's the same model as the professor's.
Oh, really? Well, let's have a look.
The one inside.
First, we need to stop her existing pacemaker. Please be careful, Doctor. Okay, good job. Looks like you're ready to go on to the next.
What did we do? You clicked on that little light to turn it off.
Doctor, the patient's going into cardiac arrest.
We can't use the defibrillator because of her pacemaker.
We'll have to massage the heart by hand.
Wait for the hands to overlap, then press the A and B buttons simultaneously. Doctor, that's right, just like that.
I know this. Wow, it said 2P on that one.
You're putting the patient's life at risk. Step aside. I'm taking over.
See, I couldn't even get the timing of
doctor's
the hand
failure
right
haunted them both,
because it was moving so fast.
bringing them much grief. Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock, two doctors of exceptional talent, both left the field of medicine, never to fulfill their destinies.
Today, we'll be replacing the patient's pacemaker.
If I remember correctly, it...
Oh, really? Well, let's have a look.
First, we need to stop her existing pacemaker. Please be careful, Doctor. Okay, good job. Looks like you're ready to go on to the next. Doctor, the patient's going into cardiac arrest.
We can't use the defibrillator because of her pacemaker.
We'll have to massage the heart by hand.
Wait for the hands to overlap, then press the A and B buttons simultaneously.
You can do it. What am I doing wrong? You're pressing it too late. Okay.
Thank goodness. The patient has recovered.
But we can't relax until we've completed the operation.
There's a chance she'll go into cardiac arrest again, so keep an eye on the electrocardiogram. If that does occur, then we need to massage her heart immediately.
Understood. Well then, are you ready to remove the pacemaker? Use the antibiotic gel to disinfect the air. Cut the lead attached to the heart, and watch out for hemorrhaging. The EKG! Please be careful! Her heart's fibrillating. Stop the procedure! She's going into cardiac. Doctor, your timing's off. Wait until the hands are over. That's right. Just like that. Concentrate! Your timing's still off! We have a pulse. Let's continue. Now that you've cut the lead, please hurry up and okay. Now drain the blood. Looks like you got all the blood. Now, please place the lead on the tray. And don't forget to suture the slit where it was inserted.
False alarm. Let's continue.
You gotta grab the lead. Damn it!
You're putting the
Took a
patient's...
while to take that lead off.
Bring Dr.
I couldn't figure it out. You took the forceps and you pulled the wires off.
Today, we'll...
If I remember.
Oh, really? Well, let's have a look.
I had to do the same thing on the other game.
First, we need to stop. Please be careful, Doctor. Okay, good job. Doctor, the patient's going into cardiac arrest.
We can't use the defibrillator.
We'll have to massage the heart by hand.
Wait for the hands to overlap, then press the A and B buttons simultaneously. That's right, just like that. Thank goodness. The patient has recovered.
But we can't relax until we've completed the operation.
There's a chance she'll go into cardiac arrest again. If that does occur.
Understood. Use the antibiotic gel to disinfect the air. Cut the lead attached to the heart. Now that you've cut... Okay. Hurry up and remove... Looks like... Now, place the lead on the tray. Please place the lead on the tray. And don't... Please treat the remaining wounds. Her heart's fibrillating. Stop the procedure. She's going into cardiac arrest. We've got to do something. We have a pulse. Let's continue the procedure. Doctor, your timing's off. Wait until the hands are overlapping. Concentrate. Your timing's still off. Now would you please place the old device on the tray? I'll get the new pacemaker ready. You can place it in the same spot as the old one. Next, attach the leads to the device. The first lead is ready. Both leads are attached to the device. Now use the ultrasound to find incision points. Now that you've found the right spot, let's drain the... That's where the second one... We can't let too much blood through. Okay. Ready to insert the lead? Bring the lead all the way to the incision.
Slip.
You're putting the patient's life at...
But the fibrillation happens way too often. Well, we didn't get
Today.
If I remember.
Oh, really? Well, let's have a look.
So the heart was starting to fibrillate.
First, we need to stop her exit. Please be careful, Doctor. Okay, good job. Doctor, the patient's going into cardiac arrest.
We can't use the defibrillator.
We'll have to massage the heart by hand.
Wait for the hands to... Doctor, your timing's off. Wait until... That's right. Just like that. Concentrate. Your timing's still off. Thank goodness.
But we can't relax until we've completed the operation.
There's a chance she'll go into cardiac arrest. If that does occur, then we...
Understood. Use the antibiotic. Cut the lead attached to the heart. Cut the lead attached. Okay. Hurry up and remove the lead. Looks like you got all the blood. Now, please place the lead on the tray. And don't forget to suture. Please.
False alarm. Let's continue.
Now would you please place the old device on the tray? I'll get the new pacemaker. You can place it in the same spot as the old one. Next, attach the leads to the device. The first lead... Her heart's... You have to connect the lead to the device first. She's going into cardiac arrest. We've got to do something.
They didn't give me a chance to do that one. I hate this operation.
You're putting the patient...
The doctors fail, bringing Doc...
Well, I didn't have any issues with it on the other one.
Today...
Oh, really? Well, let's have a look.
Please be careful, Doctor. Okay, good job. Doctor, the patient's going into cardiac...
We can't use the
We'll have to massage the heart by hand.
Wait for the hands to overlap, then... Doctor, your timing's off. That's right, just like that. Thank goodness.
But we can't relax.
There's a chance she'll... If that does occur...
Understood. Use the cut the lead attached... Now that you've cut the lead... Okay. It looks like you got all the blood. You need to pull in the direct now. Please place the lead on... The EKG. Please be careful. Her heart's fibrillating. Stop the procedure. She's going into cardiac arrest. We've got to do something. We have a pulse. Let's continue the procedure. Concentrate! Your timing's still off! Please treat the remaining wounds.
Get the vital. I can't.
Now would you please
Vitals
place
can't
the
go
old
up
device on the tray?
False alarm. Let's continue.
I'll get the new pacemaker ready. You can place it in the same spot as the old. Next, attach the leads to the device. The first lead is ready. Both leads are attached to the device. Now use the ultrasound to find incision points. Let's drain the blood before it may hemorrhage again. So please, we can't let suture. Okay. Ready to insert the lead? Remember to suture the slit, Doctor. Huh?
We were almost done, too. All right, let's massage the heart.
Okay, we're almost done. We just need to suture the... Cross your fingers. Let's activate the pacemaker.
Good. It's working properly. She'll be all right now.
news. So all we need to do is close her up and we'll be finished.
Ah, finally done with this operation.
Looks like the operation was a success.
All right.
Well done, Doctor.
Chloe, this is called an X-ray. It's a picture of the inside of your chest. This is the machine we put inside you during the operation. It's helping your heart beat.
Wow, cool. That's what's inside me?
It runs on electricity, so there are a few things you need to be careful about. Elena will explain the rules to you, so listen carefully, okay?
Did you see it? Isn't it cool? Yes, it certainly is. But don't get carried away just because you feel better, okay? Now the pacemaker that's inside your chest is like a new friend, and it's going to be with you for the rest of your life.
Doesn't have to deal with pacemakers. It's actually the saddest thing you have to deal with.
This is ridiculous. How long am I gonna have to wait? Excuse me, miss? May I ask you something?
Oh, are you here to visit a family member? If so, then the entrance is...
No, that's not why I'm here. I have an appointment with Dr. Rousseau, the chief surgeon. But no one's been able to get my message to him.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then let me call for his secretary.
I'm sorry to inconvenience you. Thank you, though. You're a doctor here, aren't you?
Yes, my name is Valerie Blaylock.
Is Professor Wilkins busy? I was hoping I might get a chance to meet him.
Yes. Well, the professor is... he's very busy. I rarely see him myself.
Well, I guess it can't be helped. But I'd still like to meet him someday. Ah, you must be Dr. Rousseau's secretary. Thank you. My name is Irene Quattro. I'm the director of Caduceus.
The organization under the direct control of Health and Human Services?
Thank you very much for your help today. I appreciate it.
Hey, Marcus. It's already been 10 days, and he still hasn't told us about his condition.
I'm sure he hasn't forgotten. He must have his reasons.
He sure is taking his time, considering the trouble he went to bring us back here. Oh, by the way, this morning I met someone that was here to see Rousseau. I was surprised when she introduced herself. Take a guess who she was.
His mistress?
Very funny. Come on, be serious.
I know him better than you do.
Well, it turns out she's the director of Caduceus. She oversees all of the medical research institutions located in the U.S.
She's from Caduceus?
Actually, she seemed more interested in speaking with Professor Wilkins. I wonder how she knows about him. Isn't it strange?
It sounds like trouble, if you ask me.
Dr. Vaughn! Dr. Blaylock! We need you in the OR!
What's the matter, Elena?
3 people were hit by a car. 2 are in critical condition. Dr. Rousseau began treating the one who was in the worst state, but he left to treat a different patient and ordered you 2 to take the ones in critical condition.
We can't afford to waste any time. His life's in jeopardy.
Broken lower left vital. Costate and damaged spleen. Construct the rib bones and treat the abdominal hemorrhaging.
The patient is Ricardo Garcia, a 35-year-old male. He was in a car accident. He has injuries to the abdomen, including a few broken ribs and a pierced spleen.
This doesn't look good.
In this operation, we have several objectives. We need to treat his lacerations, repair his broken ribs, and attend to his spleen.
This will be a difficult operation. No wonder Rousseau took off so fast.
Oh, jeez. Here comes the jokes. Why would they make him a senior surgeon if we couldn't do the operation that is handed down? He's the type of doctor who would look at the spleen. Oh, we got to remove the spleen. Get him to a hospital.
Well, I'm sure we can handle it.
We've analyzed his blood type and done the necessary screening and cross-matching. We've also got an ample supply of blood on hand. All you need to worry about is the operation.
All right, let's begin the operation.
We didn't even
Doctor,
have to open
hurry!
it up.
The patient's gone
Are
into
you
cardiac
serious?
arrest. We need to use the defibrillator.
All right. Okay, let me get his vitals out. Come on, you little sick. Let's do this. Just remove this glass. Okay, it's not glass, it's bone. Oh, that's bone. Well, I'll take care of his wound. And vitals. So, yeah, because you gotta repair it. Wow! Trypophobia warning for anyone. I'm doing vitals. You can't stitch that up. You have to use the antibiotic gel. This has 2 parts. Alright. I got this one. What happened to the voice acting? It's all gone. Alright, got vitals. You found the other bone. Now you gotta stitch that up. No, that was it. Well, that was the rib that was in his spleen. It was supposed to be in his heart. No, it was his spleen. But that was the heart we were working with. No, that was his lung. Oh, okay. That was his lung right there. Still, he should have died with all that stuff.
I see that you are both quite skilled.
I'm sorry, you are?
I'm Irene Quattro from Caduceus. Nice to meet you. I heard there was an emergency, so I changed into my surgical gown. But I see that wasn't necessary.
Valerie, is this the woman you were telling me about?
Thank you, ma'am. It's an honor to receive such praise.
A doctor with a healing touch. It's been a while since I've been surprised like this. If the opportunity arises, I'd like to see it used again.
I'd be glad to show you.
Well, neither one of us used the healing touch, so I'm glad you thought so.
This is an impressive hospital. I hope that we meet again. Please excuse me.
I don't think it was good for her to have seen that.
What do you mean, Marcus?
She's
Thank
seen
you.
it before.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We were told he wouldn't make it, but you saved him.
I just did my
did
best, Mrs.
nothing.
Garcia. Considering his injuries, it's a miracle he survived. He must have an angel looking over his
Just two
shoulder.
Exceptionally skilled doctor. No thanks to you.
I don't know how we'll ever repay you. Thank you so much.
There's no need for tears. Now, let's discuss his future treatment options.
Oh, as long as he's in your hands, Dr. Russo, I know he'll be okay.
Oh, it's you, Vaughn.
Marcus, he's...
It's not worth getting upset over. The patient is all right. That's all that matters. Professor Wilkins has asked to see us, so we'd better get going.
I suppose you're right.
Might be the time.
Dr. Russo,
for that
is something wrong?
surgical procedure he wanted to mention.
Oh, no, it's nothing. Please come with me, Mrs. Garcia. Let's go see how your husband is faring.
So, I heard that Rousseau took
He
credit
did.
for everything. You must be disappointed.
I'm just glad the patient's okay.
He's an excellent doctor, although rather shrewd at times, and I would never trust him to operate on me. That's why I summoned you here, Marcus. You have a rare talent.
I didn't want to come back.
I'm aware of that. Regardless, we'll meet tomorrow to discuss my operation. The procedure is scheduled for 4 days from now. I'll leave you to choose your team.
Okay.
So far, everyone almost has it. So it's 4 days from now.
So, you're finally going to tell us, huh, Professor?
I led you all to believe that I was suffering from a chronic heart disease. But now that my preparations are complete, I will reveal the true nature of my illness.
Dr. Rousseau is on the team too?
Yeah, but he won't be operating.
What I am asking you all to do
but he won't
is
be
treat an
operating.
unknown disease. Yes, I'm asking you to face the unknown.
An unknown disease?
By certain means, I received a mouse with an unprecedented illness. It was a pathogen born as a result of gene-related medical research. I isolated it, analyzed it, and became deeply interested in it, despite my initial fears. It was such a unique disease.
Curiosity. Man's greatest weakness.
Dr. Vaughn?
Never mind.
As a member of the medical community, I immediately realized the importance of this discovery. And so I began researching the disease. But before I could complete my research, I myself became infected. Its communicability between animals and humans was quite a surprise.
It's a tragedy for us all, Professor. It breaks my heart to
You
learn
don't
of
know
your
anything
infection.
yet. He hasn't said it.
What was the means of transmission?
It's too late to ascertain now, but it must have occurred while I was researching it. I may have accidentally pricked myself with a needle. My hands aren't as steady as they once were. I don't believe it is highly communicable, but we should still be careful. One thing is for certain. It's not an airborne disease.
And what about your condition? You seem to be rather stable right now, Professor.
I do have some data which I collected during my experiments. It's dormant at the moment, but it becomes active when the carrier experiences stress. Its invasiveness is quite strong, and it's at least as serious, if not worse, than an acute virus or a parasite invasion.
So this operation must be performed right away.
That's why you selected us.
Yes, it is a new disease, so as you may suspect, no medication or vaccine is available yet. Extraction is the only viable option.
Dr. Vaughn, this is a serious responsibility.
Indeed. This disease manifests itself in mysterious ways. I've tentatively named it Stigma. We will refer to it by this name for now, but please keep this information confidential. I will also grant you access to my research data, but you are only permitted to read through it.
Infected accidentally? That can't be. That's not its nature. The professor's hiding something.
Foregoing your meditation today? Don't allow this disease to trouble you. Just accept that it's beyond your comprehension.
Should someone with your condition be up at this hour?
I have one more favor to ask of you. That's why I'm here.
I'll save your life. What more do you want?
If for some reason the operation is a failure, then I want you to destroy all my research concerning Stigma.
What?
This is to be my research, and mine alone, whether or not the operation is successful. You should have no objections to this. After all, wasn't it your wish 3 years ago that it all disappear? Well then, I bid you good luck.
New disease, Stigma, is present and must be eliminated. Since it's highly mobile, speed and precision are essential. They're using the...
I've taken a look at the data, but I don't know what to say.
That makes 2 of us.
The pathogen's mobility is simply unbelievable. Who knows what kind of damage it's capable of? Based on the data, it's unlikely that medication will be effective, so our only option is to...
Burn it with the laser. That's the only way.
Has there been any change in the professor's condition?
He's still stable. He should have enough strength to endure the operation.
If the professor's data is accurate, then this research will make medical history. Mistakes cannot be made. I presume you understand that.
Relax. We've got it under control. He's right. This is an important procedure. We can't afford to fail.
We're ready to begin the procedure. Based on what we know, we expect that Stigma will become active once we open up the professor. Please be extremely careful.
You started cutting before I finished doing it.
Lacerations? But we didn't see any on the CAT scan.
Are you suggesting that the pathogen did this within the last few moments?
We need to suture the wounds immediately and try to prevent any further damage.
Well done, Doctor. But please, there it is.
My God, look at it.
All right, let's do this. Get the laser ready.
It's tearing up his inside.
It's working. Keep using the laser. It's still active. Keep using the laser. We did it. Stigma's gone.
Marvelous. The professor will be...
Wait, he's not stabilizing. We better take another look.
Stigma again. But how? Vitals are dropping. You have to suture the wounds or they'll hemorrhage. You may need to hit it more than once.
Focus on Stigma.
One down, one to go. Again? The
Well, it can't have changed that much. The laser should still work.
Hurry up and suture those lacerations before it causes more
I got the
damage.
vitals.
The laser seems to be working. Is that it? Please suture the remaining wounds, and then we can close them up.
That was truly a menacing organism. I must begin analyzing the data immediately.
Congratulations, you did it!
It was my responsibility.
Is something wrong, Marcus?
No, nothing. I should just be thankful that it went well.
Care.
I'm glad his body withstood the operation. At this rate, it seems he'll make a full recovery. Still, that was a daunting procedure.
I can't believe that such a disease exists.
More water. Fairy water for everyone.
And that we were able to treat it.
How are you enjoying it, Di? You seem like the only one.
I hope this is the
that's
last
in
we
the
see of
YouTube
it,
chat
though.
right now. I got 2 viewers on my end. And our thing says under the knife. Yeah, because that's the only one I have.
I must say, this stigma is certainly an intriguing disease. Doctors around the world will be
I
astounded.
bet you they already are.
Oh, he's awake.
Professor, can you hear me?
Yes. I'm fully conscious.
The operation was a success. All the pathogens were removed. And your heart is functioning normally.
It was a complicated procedure, but we were able to complete it. Being operated on while you still had your strength should speed your recovery.
Well, Professor, congratulations on the success of your operation.
Thank you.
That stigma is quite a remarkable disease. I never imagined such an insidious pathogen could exist. It amazes me each time I watch the recording of the operation.
Recording? Rousseau, I thought I made myself clear. I only gave you permission to read through the existing data.
Yes, that's true, but I thought perhaps...
My orders are absolute.
Don't be silly, Professor. I'm completely loyal to...
I want everything in this room. That includes any recordings and extracted organisms. I won't have them where I... Oh!
Professor, please. You must stay calm.
Dr. Rousseau, can't whatever you have to discuss with Professor Wilkins wait until later?
Yes, well then, please excuse me, Professor.
Please. I'd like to be alone for a while. Don't worry. I won't overexert myself.
Then we'll return later to explain your status.
Yes. Thank you.
We don't have a sample or any data. So how do you intend to study stigma, Marcus?
Are you just going to pretend it doesn't exist?
No self-respecting doctor would admit the existence of such a thing outside of a sci-fi movie.
That's only because they lack the knowledge.
Oh, really?
Do you recall the incident that occurred 10 years ago? A deadly man-made infectious disease spread throughout the world. It was known as guilt.
Now that you mention it, I do remember that. Is there a connection between guilt and stigma?
Most likely not. The professor has already tested the vaccine on it. It had absolutely no effect.
I guess I can see why Rousseau's so intrigued by it. If he was the one to announce it to the world, he'd become the most renowned doctor in medical history.
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock, 2 patients have been added to each of your schedules.
Aren't these Rousseau's patients?
Yes, but he's very busy.
Looks like I better get used to being sleep deprived.
It seems Professor Wilkins is on the road to wellness.
But how long will it take for him to fully recover?
The professor's a lot tougher than he looks, you know.
Dr. Rousseau must be hoping he resigns, or at least relinquishes some of his authority.
I heard another hospital has been courting him as well. He's had a lot of visitors lately.
Perhaps he's going to take up a position as a lecturer somewhere. I envy him.
He's the talk of the entire hospital.
Oh, but he's not the only one.
Meaning what exactly?
I've heard from more than one source that someone will be paying you two a visit soon as well. Maybe Professor to-be Rousseau will let you know about it.
That's not really my idea of a promotion.
Well, I'm calling it quits for today. Hopefully tomorrow won't be as stressful.
What about the professor's charts?
He's been updating them himself. It is top secret after all. Speak of the devil. He's paging us. I wonder what he wants.
He didn't mention anything to me. Is that the fire alarm?
Something must have happened. We better go check on the professor.
Is that the fire alarm?
Oh no!
We know who that is.
Help! That man's on fire! We have to help him!
Be careful, Marcus!
Drop to the floor! Hurry! Valerie, isn't there a fire extinguisher around?
Doctor, stand aside!
Quick thinking, Elena.
Hair, the glasses.
Someone.
You know who that is.
Professor Wilkinson. Russo, is that you? And then set fire. Hang in there. We're going to get you some help.
He's been badly burned. His life is in danger.
I'll get something to transport him with.
Thank you, Elena. Get the OR ready too.
Upper left portion of the body is badly burned and requires immediate treatment.
The patient is suffering from burns all over his body, concentrated on the left side. Some of them are 3rd-degree burns, I'm afraid. The burned area covers over 20% of his body. He's in extremely critical condition. We'll have to use skin grafts. I suggest that we transplant skin from the right half of his body, which has fewer burns.
If we can't use synthetic skin, then that's our only option.
If we inject culture fluids, we'll be able to avoid further damage.
Since we'll be working on 3rd-degree burns, I've prepared some coolants as well. I've said this already, but he's in critical condition. Please, we have to hurry.
Then you'll take care of vitals.
Right, let's get started.
Skin grafts, I will do vitals.
These burns are pretty severe. Skin grafts are the only option. We'll have to remove skin from elsewhere before we can begin treating the burns.
All right, I'll get the culture fluid ready for you. You'll have to inject it into the right side of his body. We need to collect donor skin first. The culture is taking effect. Please use the scalpel to remove a section of the epidermis. Vitals have you have to inject the culture fluid into a part that hasn't been burned.
Oh, that.
The affected area is bleeding heavily. Hurry up and drain it.
Okay,
Once we're ready to transfer the donor skin, we'll do so using the forceps.
You'll most likely need several grafts, so we should collect enough tissue before starting. Let's look for other unburnt areas and follow the same procedure.
The most severe burns have already turned black. We'll need to excise this necrotic tissue.
Are you prepared to begin debridement? Please inject it directly into the blackened tissue. Now, please try to place the donor skin before the wound hemorrhages again. The coolant won't be effective. The coolant seems to be working. Now, use the scalpel to excise the dead tissue. You can place the excised tissue on the tray. The area's been debrided, so you can proceed to drain the blood. It looks like this area is going to need more than one piece of tissue. We've covered the burn that we have done with this area. Let's go on to another burn.
You got drain.
You can't keep moving a piece of donor skin around. You'll have to get another piece. Vitals have dropped. Drain the blood first. Then prepare another piece of tissue for grafting.
Come on! Are you serious?
Vitals have dropped?
I need one more piece. I need 4 or 5 more pieces. Ready to put. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? I just drained that.
There's not much time. Halfway through. Keep it up. We have to hurry.
Come on. We don't have no time. The blood is bleeding way too fast.
The doc bringing Doc. Oh.
Just let this doctor die, because he's an asshole. I usually try to stick with one at a time.
These burns are pretty severe. Skin grafts are
That's
the only
what I've
correction.
been
All right,
doing.
you'll have to inject it into the right side of his body. We need to collect. You have to inject the culture fluid into a part that hasn't been burned. The culture is taking effect. Please use the scalpel to remove a section of the epidermis.
Once we're ready to transfer...
You'll most likely... Let's look for other...
The most severe burn will need to
Are you prepared? Please inject it directly. The affected area is bleeding heavily. Now, please try to place the donor skin before the wound hemorrhages again. The coolant seems to be working. Now, use the scalpel to excise the dead. You can place the excised tissue on the tray. The area has been debrided, so you can proceed to drain the blood. It looks like this area is going to need more than one piece of tissue. We've covered the burn and we're done with this area. Let's go on to another burn.
Are you serious? This is bullcrap! How does it bleed so quickly? Ah. Are you serious? I get that all covered and you bleed. Less than
Halfway through. Keep it up.
Almost done.
Drain the blood first. Then, prepare another piece of tissue for grafting. We completed the treatment. Great work, team.
See, that's a lot easier when you have two people working on it. I was working on it by myself on the other one, which I gotta figure out how to work that when I do the recording.
The professor's office is nothing but ashes. Fortunately, no one seems to have been inside. But the professor's whereabouts are unknown, and we have reason to believe the data was stolen. According to what Russo said, The professor seems to have been kidnapped. What did the detectives ask you?
Same things they asked you. What did I see when I arrived at the scene? Did I notice anything suspicious? You know, the usual. Oh, they also asked about the professor's condition. I didn't say anything about stigma, for now. They wouldn't understand anyway.
I can't believe he was kidnapped. What's their motive? They obviously want more than just a ransom.
What's gonna happen to this hospital? What about us? The media's gonna be all over this incident. We won't have time to examine our patients.
Dr. Blaylock, Dr. Vaughn, there's someone here to see you.
If it's another investigator, then forget it.
No.
Actually, it's the director of Caduceus.
What?
Long time no see. Regarding what happened the other day, you have my sympathy.
Thanks.
How can we help you?
It's a little complicated, so I'll get right to the point. After seeing the two of you in action, I negotiated with the hospital to have you both transferred to our staff.
You're recruiting us?
That was the plan, but circumstances have changed.
So what does that mean?
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock. By the authority of the federal government, I hereby order your immediate transfer to Caduceus.
Thanks for finally making
The
it.
authority of the federal government?
The decision was made based on the research we believe Professor Wilkins was performing. As skilled doctors and colleagues of the professor, we require your expertise in the U.S. branch of Caduceus. We'll do our best to accommodate any staff member requests you may have.
I can't believe it. We're going to Caduceus.
We're not given any choices in the matter. We're just going to Caduceus. We're going to Caduceus, whether we like it or not.
Maryland, on the Atlantic coast of the United States of America. In a location close to the nation's capital lies the U.S. branch of Caduceus, the international organization that treats and researches new diseases. Caduceus USA falls under the jurisdiction of Health and Human Services, yet they have their own authority to execute private missions. They are dedicated to the treatment of intractable diseases and the prevention of infectious illnesses.
Marcus Vaughn, age 34, surgeon, place of birth California. Valerie Blaylock, age 28, surgeon, place of birth North Carolina. Elena Salazar, age 20, nurse, place of birth California. You three will be assigned to the newly created Special Disease Counteraction Team. Now, sign here, and on the written oath and the waiver form. Why the sour face, Dr. Vaughn?
You're forming a new team? What, is this an anti-stigma measure?
You mean is it a result of Professor Wilkins' procedure? Well, we've had this planned for a long time, though the discovery of stigma did hasten its establishment. At least things will be easier on you, since it's such a small team.
Thanks for your concern. But if we'll be dealing with mainly new diseases, then we'll be performing fewer operations. I hope that won't affect my salary.
Leave it to you to think of that, Marcus.
No need to worry. We'll be referring plenty of patients to you. Special cases which may require the healing touch.
Well, that's good to hear.
Your job description won't change much either, Elena. Your priority will be to assist Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock with the operations assigned to them.
Thank you very much. I'll do my best, just as I did at Concordia.
Then, the first thing I'd like you to do is become familiar with Caduceus, and provide us with whatever information you have on stigma.
Regarding that matter, we've only encountered stigma in one operation. There's really not much for us to disclose, especially since Professor Wilkins kept a tight lid on all the data.
That's all right. Just tell us whatever you know. You may be surprised at how much you recall. Extraordinary events leave deep imprints on our memory.
I hope we'll be able to live up to your high expectations. I was wondering, Are we going to be questioned about the disappearance of the professor?
That won't be necessary. This is a hospital, not a police department.
Well, we don't know where the professor was taken. They haven't even demanded a ransom.
I still feel uneasy about all this, but we'll do what we can.
Okay, let me show you around. I hope we can cover everything before my guest arrives. Now, this is your office.
Wow. Look at this equipment. I knew Caduceus would be amazing, but this is too much.
Your responsibilities won't be much different than they were in the past. Even though you're now members of Caduceus, you're still first and foremost doctors. We dedicate ourselves to research here, but at the same time, we see regular patients. A major part of your duties will be to keep your skills sharp.
Well, it can't be any worse than Concordia. I mean, we weren't exactly welcome there.
Now, let's take a look at where you'll be performing your surgeries. There are a total of 10 ORs, each one equipped for a different type of procedure. Oh, Dr. Everett.
Everett, I think, is the chief surgeon of Caduceus. He replaces Clark.
Director, do you know where Dr. Tsuji is?
This is Dr. Everett, our chief surgeon.
He looks like he's in pain. Is something wrong?
I've got cholelithiasis. I was going to ask Dr. Tsuji to remove the gallstones, but I can't find her anywhere. I can't take this anymore. Director, can you fragment them for me, please?
I wish I could, but I'm expecting a visitor shortly.
But I can't stand the pain any longer. Are these the new doctors you were talking about?
Yes, they are.
I don't care who does it. I just need help. I can walk you through the procedure if necessary. I'll even suture myself when it's over.
You're gonna be under now.
I know this is sudden, but would you mind?
Not at all. Dr. Everett, I'm...
Skip the formalities. Just prep for surgery.
Cholelithiasis has worsened. Extraction of gallbladder and fragmentation of gallstones required.
Let me explain the chart. Dr. Everett has cholelithiasis and has been experiencing pain for 3 years.
Leo knows how this feels.
3 years?
Yeah.
Yes. I've told him repeatedly to admit himself to the ward and have it treated. However, it seems he's far more interested in taking care of patients than himself.
Typical doctor, neglecting his own needs.
I guess that just goes to show how passionate Dr. Everett is about his job.
When you put it that way. Oh, excuse me, please continue.
We'll use a laser to fragment the gallstone in this operation. Please extract the gallbladder as well during the procedure.
So we'll be taking care of the cause of his pain as well.
One person has to
Well,
do the laser,
I must be going.
gallstone,
I'll leave the rest to you three.
The other procedure as well. So I think I'll work
Okay,
on the
let's get started.
because they take a while to. They take
We will now begin the operation. Please disinfect the incision area and open him up. First, we'll be fragmenting the gallstones passing through the ductal epithelium. If a gallstone passes completely through the epithelium, the patient's vitals will drop. Let's begin by using the ultrasound to locate the gallstones. There's a gallstone. Use the laser to break it up. First, inject a sedative into the gallbladder.
Inject the sedative in the gallbladder.
The gallstone has split into 2 parts.
Take care of the laser.
Use the laser to fragment both halves as well.
We can't remove it all at once. Let's cut it into multiple segments before we take it out.
And don't forget to use the laser on the gallstones while doing so. Alright then, please begin cutting off. The cut has caused hemorrhaging. The blood has been drained. Let's start cutting off the next segment. Patient, the second segment has been cut off. Don't forget to keep fragmenting the vitals of drops. Now, please continue cutting the next segment.
I got the vitals. Take care of the stone.
The
third segment has been cut off. Remove the last segment before it hemorrhages again. Tray. Gallbladder extraction complete. Please treat the hemorrhaging area with antibiotic gel and suture the epithelium closed.
You don't have to worry about stones no more. What am I doing? Antibiotic gel when it's bleeding.
The gallstones have been eliminated and the gallbladder has been extracted. Please close him up. Operation complete.
I think
Good
I only
job.
let one stone pass. Do I have to hold for less than 2 gallstones pass.
We just arrived, and we're already performing emergency surgeries. I can't wait to see what's next. But I guess it was a good chance to get our feet wet.
You always see the positive, Val.
Oh, you're leaving? I was glad to hear the operation went well. Of course, I'd expect nothing less.
We always do our best.
I hear that often, but for some reason, this time I believe it.
Suck it right out of you.
Tomorrow, we'll meet to discuss
They don't
stigma.
cut you open.
I'm counting on you both.
I had, unless it's serious.
Like she said, we always do our best.
Wow, you assisted in an operation on your first day here? You must be good.
No, it's the doctors who are good. I'm just fortunate to be working with them.
Sounds like you work well with them. In my case, it depends on who I'm assisting. I get along with Dr. Everett, but Dr. Tsuji, on the other hand... Oh, forget I said anything.
Yeah, you don't want to be talking that much.
By the way, Ms. Newman, about the operating room support system.
Oh, call me Leslie. Everyone else does.
Leslie, we have
Now, it's our responsibility as nurses to manage the support system. It'll probably take some time, but once you get used to it, you'll be able to update an E-chart in a snap. Want to give it a try in a vacant OR?
I'd love to.
Regarding this new disease, which has tentatively been named stigma, we received a report from the National Security Council and have begun an independent investigation. Its threat level is unknown, but I can say that the pathogen possesses astonishing mobility. It was unclear whether it even existed until now. But the Wilkins case put an end to the debate.
And we are basing that assumption on the testimony of our 2 new doctors, yes? Oh, pardon me. I'm Kanae Tsuji, a surgeon here. It's nice to meet you both.
Obviously, the voice actor's not Japanese. She doesn't look Japanese.
You're absolutely correct, Kanae.
She looks Asian.
While the information provided by Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock is highly reliable, our own investigation at Concordia also validates the theory. And it's worth noting, Professor Wilkins was conducting all the research on his own, without...
We spent less than a month there following our transfer from Alaska. But during that time, the professor seemed somewhat paranoid about an information leak.
To be honest, I'm surprised there was a leak. No matter.
The NSC never tells us their source of information. I bet the military is involved in it somehow.
Let's try to make do with the information we have at hand. At this point, the research can no longer be left exclusively to Wilkins. It's now the concern of our entire organization.
What?
Prior to your transfer here, we received reports of suspicious cases from various countries. We've already discussed those cases in a previous meeting. The pathogens in question were confused with various parasites, so nothing was conclusive. If any new cases occur, they should now be reported to Caduceus International.
It's unfortunate, though, that Professor Wilkins' data was destroyed, and by an unidentified assailant at that. Am I the only one here who feels uneasy about this?
We're hoping that the professor's still alive. From now on, if any new cases of stigma arise here in the U.S., the patients will be transferred to this facility whenever possible. Both Health and Human Services and the National Security Council have agreed to this. The operating surgeons will be Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock. Their prior experience dealing with stigma will be invaluable. I personally stand behind them, 100%. The rest of you will be invited to witness their expertise very soon.
I look forward to seeing the infamous healing touch.
That was a little unexpected. What have we gotten ourselves into, Marcus? Were you as shocked as I was by what they already knew?
Not really. A doctor considers any and all possibilities.
Well, I, for one, am surprised. I had no idea there was data on stigma, other than what the professor had collected.
Well, we've got more important things to worry about. We're leaving for the tech department tomorrow morning at 8, right?
Yes, so don't be late.
All right, then I'm gonna go home and get some sleep.
Doctor, we just received an emergency request for help.
What happened?
There was a big accident on the freeway. More than 30 people are in serious condition. The request came from the state hospital.
Now I feel right at home.
Elena, can you let them know that we'll accept the patients?
Okay, one accident? Accident victim with chest complications, details unknown. Chest complications! Can we say at this point this is Marcus Vaughn and Valerie Blaylock's bread and butter? Because every patient that we've had dealt with a chest complication of some sort.
No eye response, incoherent speech, decerebrate posture, E1, V3, M2. He's under 8 on the Glasgow Coma Scale. He's in critical condition. The patient has taken considerable damage to the right half of his body, and his lungs may be at risk.
He's definitely in bad shape.
The exact locations of his injuries are difficult to determine right now. His vitals aren't stable either. Please hurry, but be careful.
There's no time to lose. Let's begin immediately.
Okay, let's get started.
Beginning the operation. The patient's condition has worsened since his arrival. Please operate quickly. Begin by treating the external wounds.
The external wounds have been treated, but I assume that it can only be worse on the inside. Let's open him up and begin treating his internal organs.
Wow.
I'm confirming interior wounds and the presence of foreign debris. Let's keep an eye on his vitals and treat everything we can. This wound can't be sutured like this.
You'll need to use the forceps to hold it closed temporarily. Hold one side of the wound with the forceps, and bring it. Please suture it quickly, or the wound will open again. That's the worst of the wounds. Please begin treating the others.
That should do it for this area. Now to move on to the others.
Use the magnification tool to change where we're looking. There should be other injuries nearby.
A hemorrhage has formed. Drain the pools of blood. open into a laceration. Vitals are stabilizing. The patient should be all right for now.
Okay. Guess we're done.
All right, let's close him up.
Shouldn't be no reason why we can't get an A on this one.
Operation complete. Excellent work.
And since we only used up at least Are you kidding me here? We also have to realize that we're doing normal.
That was the last of the patients. The three of you can wrap things up now.
The lower half are gone. They're all like that. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Leslie. That was very impressive. If you don't mind, I'd like to assist you again sometime.
It's 3 a.m. Man, talk about a long day.
Well, this is what you wanted, right? To continue seeing patients.
Yeah, I guess that's the life of a doctor, no matter where you are. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bright and early.
Hey, don't worry. If we can survive in Alaska, we can survive anywhere.
Because I think they only expected 1280 by 7. Collaborative research!
So, I have a new job for you. But first, let me introduce you to our head of research.
Hello, my name is Dr. Robert Cromwell.
So he's taking Biggs' position? Because I have a feeling that this game was created not with the other two games in mind, which based on the Japanese one, because he's in Japan in the Japanese one.
Dr. Blaylock and Dr. Vaughn, I presume. It's nice to meet you.
The music that they use in Second Opinion, there's two music that was in there, and they're combined in this music.
You must be busy adapting to Caduceus, as well as the newly established team.
This is mostly reminiscences to Caduceus.
But the director recommended you to, so I would appreciate your assistance.
It's nice to meet you too. It would be our pleasure to help.
Good. I'd like you to participate in clinical testing under the supervision of the research lab.
Let me remind you that it is the duty of those in the medical field to not only cure patients, but to also research and pioneer new treatments. Doctors and researchers must work together to fight diseases both present and future. That's the purpose of Caduceus.
No, he looks more like Baxter Stockman.
There may be some interesting characters here, but they're all excellent doctors. I consider myself very fortunate to be able to conduct medical research among them. And on top of that, we now have the assistance of two truly gifted doctors with the healing touch. I firmly believe that with your precision, the data we'll be able to collect will be invaluable. That is why I'm so enthusiastic about your surgical skills. You don't have any objection,
We're not
do
lawyers.
you?
I appreciate your vote of confidence, even if it is a bit exaggerated.
He's a dedicated professional, although he tends to be long-winded.
Now then, there's an operation I'd like the two of you to perform. The research you're contributing to will give new hope to heart disease patients everywhere. I'll explain as I show you my lab. It's true that many people frown upon our astronomical research budget. Mostly journalists and politicians who are trying to make a name for themselves. You know how difficult it is to produce significant results when conducting revolutionary research. But thankfully, we also have generous supporters such as...
Oh, Dr. Cromwell, you have friends with you today. Would you introduce me? Pretty please.
Isabella, you really should start acting more professional. This is Ms. Vasquez. She's a representative of the Humani Corporation.
I'm Dr. Blaylock.
Dr. Vaughn.
Nice to meet you, handsome.
We're partnered with a number of large pharmaceutical companies and medical manufacturers, including Humani, who've been a tremendous help to us.
I hope my looks don't give you the wrong impression about our company.
Why should your looks give me the wrong impression about your company? I don't see what your looks have anything to do with it.
Humani is a major player in this industry, and I've been known to play hardball when needed.
Humani holds several lucrative pharmaceutical patents and leads the way in regenerative medicine.
Well, if there's anything I can do for you, just let me know.
We have a research specialist from Humani on staff as well. She's a very talented young woman who has produced great results. I believe she's nearby. Cynthia, can you spare a moment?
I'll go get her, Dr. Cromwell.
Thank you. I'd appreciate it. The operation that you'll be performing would not be possible without her help.
Yes, Dr. Cromwell? Oh, that's right. You said you'd introduce me to the doctors today.
This is Cynthia Kazakov. She's a beautiful woman, as you can see, and quite brilliant.
Cynthia Kazakov? You wouldn't happen to be from Trinity Medical School, would you?
Valerie? Valerie Blaylock?
Yeah, it's me.
You became a doctor! Congratulations!
Thanks. Wow, I never expected to see you here, of all places.
You're going to be helping us? This is great!
I'm Marcus Vaughn. Sorry to interrupt such a touching reunion.
Nice to meet you, Doctor.
So, you two are old friends. I have a feeling this will be a fruitful partnership.
The irony. So Derek Stiles joins Caduceus and he meets an old friend from college, who also became a doctor.
Now, Cynthia, can you explain to them about the cardiac patch?
Patient is suffering from obliterative cardiomyopathy. Requires a myocardial patch transplant made from a new material.
Allow me to explain the details of the operation, as well as the usage of the myocardium patch. Our patient is a 10-year-old girl with an occlusion in her heart. Her heart functions are deteriorating. If this continues, she'll have a myocardial infarction.
That's where the myocardial patch comes in.
I don't know much about it. It's a form of synthetic membrane, correct?
Yes, it's a new type of synthetic membrane that uses the whole cell voltage clamp. The membrane itself is elastic and helps the heart move and function.
That's amazing. It truly is a miracle of science.
It's only as incredible as the skills of the people using it.
Nothing like a little pressure. I don't mind, though. That motivates me.
We'll do our best, of course.
I'm glad to hear it.
So, we'll be applying this myocardial patch by positioning it according to the guide. Is that this operation's objective?
Yes, that's correct. This operation will be performed without stopping her heart. But I have faith in Caduceus, and in all of you.
Let's start.
Let's begin the operation. We'll be operating on the heart. Please open her up. Let's confirm the procedure of this operation. 3 areas of occlusion have been located on the heart. We'll apply the myocardium patch to them all. Follow the guide and keep the placement and angle in mind when applying the patch. If the myocardium patch isn't placed correctly, the patient may undergo cardiac arrest. Be careful. Start by applying antibiotic gel to the occlusion areas. The first myocardium patch will be applied here. Carefully match the location and angle of the patch with a pattern on the heart. The myocardium patch has been successfully applied to the occlusion area. Her heart rate is increasing. There's a possibility that the already weakened areas of the myocardium may hemorrhage. If you find a hemorrhage, treat it with the antibiotic gel before its condition worsens. Here's the next occlusion area. What? The guide moved? Does this mean that we'll have to time the placement now that the heart is beating faster? Apply the patch when the size of the guide matches the size of the patch.
Damn it!
Doctor, the patient's undergoing cardiac arrest. Use the defibrillator to resuscitate her. We have a pulse. Please watch the guide and place it when the sizes match.
Damn it!
Doctor, the patient's undergoing cardiac arrest. Use the defibrillator to resuscitate her.
Are you kidding?
We have a pulse. Please watch the guide and place it when the sizes match. A blood pool has formed. Please drain it quickly. Doctor, the patient's undergoing cardiac arrest. Use the defibrillator to resuscitate her.
Come on. Well, let me get vitals first. They were lined up. I don't get it. You have to wait for the stride. You have to wait for it to... When it goes down small is when you lay it. I did that too. guess the similarities are just like when you massage the heart.
We don't have much time.
Wow, this is not responding exactly like that. I missed again.
Hurry!
And I still lay it down. Let me do this. Hey, Ancient One.
This can't be.
How is it going, Ancient One?
Someone, call for Dr. Everett.
How do they expect you to do
For
that?
Dr. Vaughn and
Unless
without
we
the
have no choice but to use the healing touch on that one. No, there should not be a need for the healing touch on that one.
Let's begin the We'll be operating on the heart. Please open her up.
You follow their instructions, and maybe you'll figure it out.
Let's confirm the procedure of this operation. 3 areas of occlusion have been located on the heart. We'll apply the myocardium patch to them all. Follow the guide, and keep the placement and angle in mind when applying the patch. If the myocardium patch isn't placed correctly, the patient may undergo cardiac arrest. Be careful. Start by applying antibiotic gel to the first myocardium patch. Carefully match the location and angle of the patch with a pattern on the heart. The myocardium patch has been successfully applied to the occlusion area. Her heart rate is increasing.
Basically the same thing, but it didn't respond.
There's a possibility that the already weakened areas of the myocardium may hemorrhage. If you find a hemorrhage, treat it with the antibiotic gel before its condition worsens. Here's the next occlusion area. Let's continue. What? Does this mean that we'll have to time the placement now that the heart is beating faster?
Will be notified here.
Apply the patch when the size of the guide matches the size of the patch. The second occlusion area has been treated. Her heart rate is increasing. Be careful when placing the patch. Watch your timing. Doctor, the patient's undergoing cardiac arrest. Use the defibrillator to resuscitate her. We have a pulse. Please watch the guide and place it when the sizes match. Doctor, the patient's undergoing cardiac arrest. Use the defibrillator to resuscitate her. We have a pulse. The patch wasn't applied to the correct area. Doctor, the patient's undergoing Use the defibrillator to resuscitate her. We have a pulse. Please watch the guide and place it when the sizes match. The myocardium patches have been placed, but there are still wounds that need attention. Let's treat them all. The patches have begun synchronizing with the myocardium's movement. And her heart rate is returning to normal. She should be all right now. Let's close her up. Please close her up.
I was stitching her up.
We're finished. Good work, everyone.
Alright,
That was a flawless operation.
No, it wasn't.
Simply perfect. The patch is sure to integrate with the existing tissue. The patient should recover nicely.
I think we'll see excellent results, Valerie.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing more operations like this one.
Well, we wouldn't want to take up all of your time. The director has already spoken to us regarding the research on stigma. We're currently in the planning stages. In time, we'll show you what we're capable of. Right, Cynthia?
Yes, Dr. Cromwell.
or tomorrow. Well, I don't intend on making it that long.
The NIH has received a request for help from a hospital in Texas. They're having difficulty with the diagnosis. Based on the patient's chart, there's a good chance that it's stigma.
So this is what we're dealing with, hmm?
These two pictures were taken only a few hours apart? Look how far the focus is shifted. And its size has increased drastically.
A biopsy was attempted, but they were unable to obtain a sample of the pathogen. The patient will arrive in roughly 3 hours. Vaughn and Blaylock will be performing the surgery.
We'll check the patient's condition upon her arrival and then proceed with the operation.
We're treading on unknown territory, so we'd appreciate your support, Dr. Tsuji.
I highly doubt that you two will need my help, but I'll get ready nonetheless.
Sarcasm?
The patient's vitals are stable. Blood pressure 110/60, heart rate 60 beats per minute.
Any case history?
She was involved in an accident 2 months ago. Laceration on the right thigh. Looks like they used artificial blood for transfusion. Q-heme blood from Syntec Labs, to be exact.
Are there any contraindications?
None that I'm aware of, but can you check with them just in case?
Will do.
The affected area is the liver. The course of treatment will be determined during the
Sounds
procedure.
like that where blood was contaminated.
However, I have a feeling this will be different than the professor's case.
Even so, I'm sure our experience with stigma will prove invaluable. Let's stay positive.
New strain of stigma detected, composition unknown, exposed to pathogen eliminated.
According to the test results, this stigma is completely different from the one we saw before. There are some similarities, though, such as high mobility.
It tries every conceivable method to make its victims suffer. It's like a nightmare.
If it is stigma, then there must be a core somewhere, even if it looks different. If we can find and attack it, we may be able to identify the key to stopping it.
A core. Now that you mention it, there was something in the report about that.
That's right. We saw something like a core when we were operating on Professor Wilkins.
I'm surprised you remember, Marcus.
Call it a hunch.
A hunch? Well, at least we have some hope of defeating it now.
I'll be praying that I don't have to get involved.
It's haunting me. Wherever I go.
Dr. Vaughn?
It's nothing. Let's end this nightmare. Okay,
So a
let's
lot of you
begin.
guys that don't know the backstory, him and Professor Wilkins developed stigma.
The exact nature of this stigma and the types of damage it is capable of are
We'll just have to open her up and observe it for ourselves.
Stigma confirmed. It's much larger than before.
That must be its core there in the center. The plan is to use the laser to incinerate it, but
We can't do anything to it since the core has enveloped itself within the surrounding cellular tissue. The tissue itself looks highly viscous. Let's try draining it.
Good job. The amount of cellular tissue around the core has decreased.
Okay, then let's continue this and drag the core out. Is this a tumor? Let's burn it with the laser.
The core's been exposed. Use the laser to incinerate it. It's working! The core's being covered by the tissue again. Please drain it. There is still tissue left inside the patient. Please drain it. Just a little more.
did it split up?
The core has to be in one of them. Use the drain to find it.
Vitals are dropping. Is the tumor hardening?
Let's extract it with the PAL procedure. First, use the drain on the hardened tumor.
The draining is complete. Use the scalpel to excise it. The tumor has been excised. Please extract it.
Grab that.
Good job, Doctor. Don't ignore the other tumors, though.
Got the vitals.
More of the tissue has been created. Drain it immediately.
Hold on. I didn't realize that the vitals were down that low.
That's it. Leave the
Good
rest
night,
to
Eric.
us.
Oh, I think we lost
without
control
they-
when it started to split. Well, I had control. I was fine. It's just that when that one tumor got
The exact
created,
nature
when
of
we
the
got-
stigma, we'll
when
just have to
things
open her up and
went
observe it for
haywire.
ourselves.
Stigma.
That must be...
We can't do anything. The tissue itself looks highly viscous.
Good job. The amount of cellular...
Okay, then let's continue this and drag the core out. Is this a tumor? Let's burn it with the laser.
The core's been exposed. Use the laser to incinerate it. It's working. The core's being covered by the tissue again. Please drain it. There is still tissue left inside the patient. Please drain it. Just a little more.
Did it split up?
The core has to be in one of them. Use the drain to find it.
No presence of stigma can be detected.
That was an amazing operation. Let's close her
I
up and be
don't
finished.
know. It wasn't supposed to respond that way.
We were able to deal with it. Somehow.
I hope this is the last time we have to perform an operation in the dark.
We're finished. Great work, everyone.
Hi, not. Why were you performing this surgery in the dark anyway? You usually have no light.
Stigma's mobility far exceeded our expectations.
You all did a great job treating it. I'm glad you're with us.
Would you expect any less from Caduceus' own special disease counteraction team?
We'll hold a conference on this case of stigma within the next few days. Of course, I'll need you to speak regarding today's operation and the patient's progress. Your report will also be forwarded to Health and Human Services, so please get started immediately.
Not off the top
Just
of
give
my
me a
head.
strong cup of Joe, and I'll crank it out.
Good. You know, there was no way we could have anticipated Stigma's metamorphosis. I was amazed at how well you adapted. I know you have the healing touch, but even so...
I guess I'm just lucky. The results from the liver exam indicate that the patient has been making satisfactory progress. She seems to be recovering well, but it's unclear how this disease was transmitted in the first place. We should continue monitoring her for at least another month.
I see. Well, I think it's safe to say that the treatment was successful. How about the pathogen itself? What have we learned? And please, keep it brief, Robert.
My pleasure, although our analysis is only partially complete. First, the biopsy. Stigma did not match any known organism, meaning it's a new species, so we'll have to come up with a name for it. So how about it, Dr. Everett? You'll be a grandfather one of these days.
my son's only 12. All he thinks about is football.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll ask someone else. Now, regarding the spectral analysis, our attempts to determine its structure resulted in failure.
What? How is that possible? I've never heard of that happening before.
We tried a different machine, but the outcome was the same. We screened for nucleic acid, proteins, glucose, lipids, and ATP, but there were no matches. Stigma consists of an organic compound that is completely foreign to us.
What? This will change the way we think about life itself.
Whoever is credited with its discovery will surely make history. From a medical perspective, it's fortunate that Stigma's infectivity is weak. We're trying to culture it, but so far there's no sign of growth or multiplication. It's going to be difficult to determine the means of infection as well.
This is more serious than we thought.
Madam Director, we have an emergency.
Leslie, we're in the middle of an important conference.
Deputy Secretary Marshall has collapsed. He may have intraaxial hemorrhaging.
George Marshall, from the Department of Homeland Security?
All right, let's adjourn the conference. Leslie, I want you to prep operating room 3 for him. Vaughn, Blaylock, you two will be performing the procedure.
You want us to operate on a high-ranking government official?
Dr. Styles did.
I'll explain the details before the operation, so please go make the necessary preparations.
It's been 35 minutes since he collapsed. He's a 9 on the coma scale with mild tachypnea.
We're waiting on the CAT scan results, but it's most likely a case of subarachnoid hemorrhage.
This is his chart from his previous admittance. We performed deep brain stimulation to treat his dystonia.
And he was able to recover from that. Incredible. Looks like the system's produced by Columba and Cornix, the same company that made Elena's pump.
Yes, it's now a subsidiary of Humani. If you have any questions about it, you can ask Isabella.
Director, what's this shadow here on the X-ray?
Oh, that. It's a hippocampus chip. We implanted it at his request.
He didn't want to forget anything, so he opted to have his memory augmented. Huh. I assume they're keeping it quiet. Do we need to worry about being in violation of state law?
We don't have time to discuss that. Now, the hematoma is far enough away from the electrodes, but take care when using the thrombolytic.
Okay, we'll head over to the OR then.
Subarachnoid hemorrhaging and multiple aneurysms obstructing the blood flow. Treat the area and suture the blood vessels.
These are the results from the CT. Please take a look. A number of aneurysms have been detected. Some of the blood vessels have already burst and are hemorrhaging heavily inside the brain. First, we must clear the excess blood from the area. Then we need to treat the aneurysms. Remember, this is brain surgery. Please be extra careful when performing this operation.
Even a tiny mistake could debilitate his brain. We better be careful.
This will require extreme delicacy and dexterity. We need...
You're back.
All right, let's begin.
I think the best strategy for this is you pick an aneurysm and you work on it. We're not going to be cutting off.
Since we're operating on the brain, even the smallest mistake can be fatal. We'll have to be extremely careful.
That bulge on the vein is the brain aneurysm. Let's remove it before it bursts.
I'm getting the sedative ready. Please inject it directly into the bulge in the vein. Let's detach it with a scalpel while the sedative... The aneurysm has been detached. The aneurysm... Please hold the vein with a forceps and connect it before it... The vein has been reconnected. Please... We're done treating this brain aneurysm.
The test said there were multiple aneurysms, though.
There's a chance that any of these vessels will turn into aneurysms. Have the magnification tool ready. Let's shift our viewpoint when necessary and treat the aneurysms when they appear.
There it is. Let's treat it before...
There's more where we're not looking. Once we treat the ones in sight, we have to quickly change our focus.
Pick one and operate it.
Vitals are dropping?
Shoot that one down there.
The sedative's effect is worn off. Please inject it again. And see what happens. Doctor, please hurry. If all of these burst at once...
Get vitals.
An aneurysm has burst. Quickly, drain the blood and reconnect the vein. Are stabilizing. It looks like it's finally over. We're done here. Excellent work.
We let 2 of them blow.
Columba and Cornix's brain electrodes and pump units may seem cutting edge, but it won't be long before they're made available to the general public. Just like the pacemaker. Professor Wilkins had one. Why do I have this nagging feeling? Everyone who's contracted stigma has had some kind of artificial agent in their body. Even that one patient who was transferred here had Syntex Q heme blood. I was using artificial blood with my test mouse, too. I wonder if there's a connection.
Dr. Vaughn, can I trouble you for a moment?
Of course.
I wanted to check on the Deputy Secretary's condition.
I doubt I can tell you more than you already know, ma'am. Since he was brought here promptly, cerebral ischemia was kept to a minimum. And there are no signs of severe paralysis, so we shouldn't have to worry about any after effects. We can't use the MRI, so we'll take another CAT scan tomorrow. Will you be advising on his rehab, ma'am?
Yes, I will. I also need to administer a personality test. Because of his implant, he must be closely monitored. It's sad, really. He's such a talented man.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy. But I'd like to leave him in the hands of the others so I can concentrate on stigma.
Agreed. And Dr. Vaughn, it's a shame that you feel the need to keep secrets from us. But I'm hoping that will change.
What makes you say that?
Your cutaneous muscles seem a little more tense than normal. I'm out of practice when it comes to reading faces. Was my assessment accurate? You're a critical part of the Caduceus team. I hope you're not thinking of leaving.
Of course not.
Okay, let's do the challenge and see, and we'll just finish off there. I don't know how many patients, but I guess we gotta just keep. Vital. Alright. Well, that was a mess. Take care of the... Aha! I used it. Vital! I was working on something. Time ran out. Alright, that should do it for us for tonight. We're going to start chapter 4 next Monday. I think there's only 6 chapters. But we got pretty far on this. Hopefully we can do it all in stream. Because the last 3 Trauma Center games, we did not do it on stream. We didn't finish them up on stream. We'll get the videos for them as later. But I will be doing second opinion on stream. But when you get my stream, because if I do that and move right on to Danganronpa, you'll have to split it. You have to splice it. Split the stream and then post it. Which means you'll have to do the editing. You can go and raid on YouTube. I'll find a raid target on Twitch. Let me see who I have on my end. I'm gonna do Fang Moonlight. Because I don't normally get to raid her very often. So I think we're gonna raid her there, and you find a raid target over on YouTube and post it. Huh? Okay, then you do Rainax, I will do Fang Moonlight. Alright, if you're on Twitch, Fang is just chatting right now. Give her a follow. If you're on YouTube, give Rainax a like and a subscribe. And we are out.